All right, let's start off. We've got Quicksilver we can throw down over in the right lane for now, I think, just to start us off. And Nowhere isn't going to do a whole lot. We do have double Galacti right now, which is potentially okay. We're going to probably need them at Thunderbolt's tower. We can do both of these over here for the time being, with them probably going a Mole Man following them, I think. Howard the Duck. I'm going to guess we're actually dealing with another Kraglin gamer right now. However, I don't know if they have Kraglin. I don't currently have it yet. I'm definitely not getting it now. Let's throw a Mole Man down in this lane. Potentially can do some fun stuff with Fin Fang Foom. I'd love to get Wiccan, a Shang-Chi. There's a lot of cards I personally would love to see right now. I don't think that's the card that really felt great. Okay, who do they get with their Kraglin? They got an Eliath. I wonder if they're running Galactus things, is what I'm currently concerned with. I honestly think I'm doing this to stop a Galactus in that left lane, because that's what I think people are going to talk about with this card, and it's what I'm going to stop here, hopefully. Yep, called it. That's a good stop, especially with them running Eliath. Felt like they were going to try to do similar things there. I'm going to go Cosmic Ghost Rider in the same lane, turn off the abilities of Kraglin, mainly Howard the Duck. I just don't want them to get the final card. I don't know if they're going to have a reason to go for it, but I think that's the one I really just want to make sure I can stop here. They get to do a lot of stuff against me over here. What are they going to do with this right now? Honestly, I'm playing Galactus in this lane because I don't know what their final turn plan is. Even just a Destroyer means that I think I'm still okay. Yeah, by throwing down Galactus in the left lane, we guarantee that we're winning at least one lane, and we are winning by 12 points over here, whereas they are only winning by, I believe, 8 in the right lane. That's enough to make it so at least our Kraglin deck can win. We didn't use Kraglin, and I have a feeling that might be a larger conversation piece about this card. All right, let's start off with Quicksilver, 10 rings, into Superior Spider-Man. I think is fine for now. We're not going for Reed's Lab currently. We're playing against a garbage deck. We do have Prio on this bit, so that's nice for us. Merlin. I don't know what Merlin's gonna do for us this game, or for the opponent. Is that it is just it's a created card, okay. They have priority right now. I'm gonna go Mole Man, I've decided. I don't know if this is correct. The 7 cost cards for the Rock is pretty solid. Man Thing isn't as solid for us, though. I don't love that. I'm gonna go Superior into a Rock. I'm actually gonna play the Rock in the front lane, though, so they can't hit me with a... can't hit me with Cosmic Ghost Rider on the off chance they have it in order to mess with my plan. Am I Legioning the middle lane? The Man Thing's not amazing, but that is a card they're actually just running in their deck. Atlantis. At least that works. We do have +1 energy this turn. What are they gonna do? Kraglin. I think Kraglin's actually the right call here, right? Because I can then go... I go Shang-Chi in this lane. I'm locking myself out, but then I think I'm still playing... Because I'm guaranteed to only get +2 energy next turn, right? So Kraglin is just the correct answer? I think so? I feel like this is the correct answer. It's guaranteed to hit. That's fine, Cosmic Ghost Rider. It doesn't help out the middle location. Lady Deathstrike is unfortunate, but it's still fine. I'm gonna go Galactus first steps in this lane into a Rock over here. That's 12 points in the right lane that I currently have, and I also have a good chunk of cards over here. And I think this is still... I think this is still the Herald? Oh wait, no, I can tell. Yeah, it is still... It should still be this. It should still be the Herald. And for what it's worth, actually, we don't get to do this turn, in which I do think we... Oh, we're close. We only won this game because of Kraglin, right? Without Kraglin, we don't win the game. Because I couldn't have played 2 cards. I could not have played 2 cards at final. I could have, right? It would have had to be Legion instead. And I don't... Is Legion enough there? I guess if I go Legion, it still could have worked. Maybe I could have still won with Legion. I'm honestly uncertain. But we played Kraglin. We won. I think those are the facts. That's all I need to focus on. Let's go to the next game. All right, let's start with a Quicksilver over in the right lane right now because we don't want to play for the left on the off chance we do get Spider-Man superior version, that is. We then are going to be able to Kraglin this lane as well, which is fun. Our opponent matched us with the Quicksilver. Potentially, honestly, kind of scary with this. Feels like they may have a very similar plan currently. Let's see. Well, we got our Kraglin on the board. We didn't even play it. Who do I lose is my current question. Why isn't it loading? And is it going to count turn 3 or turn 4? I lose Superior Spider-Man? Oh, that's not amazing. I don't love that. All right, Shang-Chi Master of the Rings, though, over in this lane. Like, we still have our curve, thankfully. Oh, that Drax did trigger. I didn't even think about that. All right, Drax triggers here. Unfortunately, I can do nothing else right now, so I'm going to keep floating. Right, I no longer have Superior Spider-Man, and they no longer have a game plan. Obviously, Kraglin is a busted card. Our Kraglin is on the board, and we won the game. So, therefore, I think Kraglin's busted. That's the logical takeaway here. Next game. All right, well, Triskelion is a little weird, but it's not a bad setup for us, just weird. Quicksilver into 10 rings, I guess, is going to be our current plan. Oh. I don't love, honestly, that either. I guess it's just Kraglin next turn? Well, that sucks. Am I supposed to Bastion that left lane? No, I'm supposed to play Superior Spider-Man currently. Am I? Yes, I am. Who do I get? Oh, no one, duh, because I didn't play it that turn. I get the extra energy, though. I have Mole Man. Mole Man's interesting. I think I'm supposed to do this. And I'll accept the fact that I'm probably not getting the extra power. No. Is it? It is, because I don't care about getting the 2 other... I'm just going to get the 2 rocks, and that's fine by me. Right? So I'm not going to get anything from... Well, that's not bad. Right? I'm not getting these arrows. I'm going to play an Anti-Venom in this lane. I don't want to show them anything else. I think that's all I'm doing right now. Galactus isn't helpful. What I can do into Shang-Chi... Right, I don't honestly care about this bit. I'm playing these 2 here. The biggest problem is obviously they get to do a lot of stuff right now. I'm gonna have to do this into this play. This is not great, though. I feel like I could still very easily lose this, depending on how much power they get in that left lane right now. I have to hope I win the left and middle lane. Because I'm not... Wait, is this not a Ronin deck? I thought this was a Ronin deck. If it's not Ronin, I think we're okay. Because I don't care about my card getting destroyed. I know I didn't use Kraglin, obviously. It is Ronin. They just didn't play the card. If they play like a... Maybe they didn't have Maximus. Due to the fact that, obviously, like, we were clogged in terms of both hand and location. And on the board, right? So, like, everything got clogged there, but we beat Ronin. And Triskelion was, like, that's the game that you want as a Ronin player. And we still won. Next game. All right, let's start off against playing Quicksilver over at the Abbey. Then we'll play the 10 rings over here. We have the Superior Spec. Like, this is a pretty solid curve currently. I do love that playing these two cards together does just give you a full curve, right? That is just a really cool part of this deck. That's one thing I have always enjoyed. Galactus is interesting. I don't know how good that's going to legit be for us, but it's not bad. Play Superior Spider-Man next, I think. I know I can use Aunt May's. I just don't think I want to yet. Well, we're not beating them currently in that lane yet. I still have extra energy. The Wiccan isn't going to work, is it? I don't think this Wiccan works, and that sucks if it really doesn't work. If this doesn't work, I will be asking for second dinner. Come on. Come on, second dinner. Let's fix this. That's not chill. Nah, that shouldn't be how this works in the slightest. That's not correct. That's not correct. I've decided that's just not correct. Should not be how this works. All right, it's fine though. Obviously, Galactus in the right lane is going to work out in favor. It's a 9-powered card, right? That's pretty good. Can we make our opponents kneel? I don't even know if they know that we are a kneeler deck. Let's see. Cosmo. They have a chance that they know it's a kneeling deck. The worst part is the Drax actually gets to go over here and win this lane. Am I just fooming? I feel like I'm just supposed to foom. Hydra Bob into Blink. Well, thankfully Blob Bob didn't work out. However, Fin Fang Foom definitely does. Fin Fang Foom's an amazing card. Listen, we may not be able to make our opponents kneel, but we can still foom all over them. Victory. I'm gonna make a statement that I'm gonna regret, even though I know in my heart it's true. And I've heard a lot of people talking about how Fin Fang Foom is too good of a card. My personal take on Fin Fang Foom, and I know I can say this for the end of the video, but I'm gonna do it right here in the middle because I want to do it now. I've decided. I think Fin Fang Foom is a perfectly fine card. Fin Fang Foom is fine, in my opinion. However, I want to point out very specifically to the people who argue that Shang-Chi should come back, the old version of Shang-Chi, because of cards like Fin Fang Foom. I see your point. I don't want to hold Shang-Chi back. And I do think that if Fin Fang Foom, it goes down to just, I think it goes to at least 10 power, which I know it doesn't change the card. However, it does. The stuff I like about Fin Fang Foom versus old Shang-Chi is that Fin Fang Foom forces you to invest your entire turn into playing Fin Fang Foom. Whereas Shang-Chi, old Shang-Chi, right? All you had to do was spend 4 energy, and you got to do a big swing similar to Fin Fang Foom. I don't like that about Fin Fang Foom, just being able to be a tech card. However, I like the fact that it basically requires you to invest an entire turn and setup into winning one lane, whereas Shang-Chi does more. So my point is, I think I like Fin Fang Foom. I really enjoy this card. However, I do think like a couple points of power probably taken off this card just to see what it does, because I don't think that kills the card, and it probably just brings it in line with everything else. I'm sad to say that, but also I don't want to hear any Foom slander. Foom's still a great card. It's just very good. All right, let's start off with a Quicksilver over in this lane, and then we're going to go with a 10 rings immediately following. We can go 10 rings immediately following, obviously. We have a Kraglin to play as well, which is pretty good here. I don't want to play to the Pit of Exile, as that's not going to work with a Foom, potentially. It is Kraglin now, though, right? Like, it's just the Kraglin turn. The Wiccan is interesting. Infinite and what? Dragonlord? Is this a Hela deck? If I can get an Eliath, I feel like I'm supposed to get an Eliath here. And if I can draw Eliath, I can just play that in the right lane and win the game. I'm definitely supposed to make him kneel, so we can make our opponent kneel for the first time today. I haven't done that yet. Thank you, Kraglin, for letting us kneel. Or making them kneel. I don't know what the phrasing I should be using is, but let's go with that. Jubilee, that's actually really good now. So Hela's not a good shout for them anymore. They can still go for and a play they might do, which is honestly smart. Never mind, they can't even do Fin Fang Foom. That's fantastic. We are going to play a Legion, and that is it. We don't have priority, which is the important stuff here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to play Galactus and hope for the best. Blinket's going to get rid of the Jubilee and doesn't have any target. Yeah, so one thing about Galactus that's really fun in this current metagame is that a lot of people are talking about how, like, you're trying to set these really big combo, right? With Star-Lord, you're setting up this really big combo on the board. And with, obviously with Hela, right? Like, you're trying to set up a really big combo and you're doing it all in the fountain for a really big explosion. And what Galactus can do and what Kraglin can potentially enable him to do, as we saw in this game, is force them to try to do their combo in a very awkward area, which that means they can't do it. They got crammed into this one lane, and then that's all they could do. To be fair, if variants had worked out differently, totally could have won. But their deck is based off variants. It's a very difficult thing to try to win with their deck. If you are, if you are trying to do it consistently, at least. I think this deck that Hela is a solid deck. However, it's got a very high amount of variance in terms of both against it and for it. So anyway, I like this game. And I might actually see a point in Kraglin. Next game. All right, let's do this thing. Titan is... Sure, you know what? That's not bad for us. Yeah, okay. I can deal with that. And then I'm going 10 rings next, I think. I'm dying, apparently. Let's go with 10 rings into Kraglin. All right, so we at least have our curve, potentially. All right, Kraglin, what you doing for me? We don't hate that, right? That's not a bad thing. I feel like oh God. I hate the stupid bug with Wiccan makes this so much worse, because otherwise, like, right now the bug with Wiccan makes it so, like, the correct answer is to play Wiccan, but I can't do that because of the stupid bug, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do because of that, and I think it's unfortunately just playing a Superior Spider-Man in this lane, which sucks, but that's it. Right? I don't think it's... Sunspot, okay. I do have 7 energy on this coming turn. I've got priority here. Am I just gonna play Legion? I think I am. I think I'm just playing Legion and turning off all those abilities. I don't want their 6 cost to become cheaper. I feel this is just the safest play, just to make sure that all the stuff gets turned off. I think I was correct. I think I am definitely correct about that. I don't know why they left. It seems so weird. We were in the middle of a game. Why would you retreat? We were having fun. We were playing the game. Do you not wish to play a game with me? Next game. You know, it's really great how I've consistently been wondering, like, what am I supposed to play on turn 1 and turn 2? The answer obviously is just Quicksilver and 10 rings. Those are just actually, like, I do really legitimately like that part of this deck. And once this Kraglin bug, not Kraglin, sorry, once this Wiccan bug gets fixed, right, where right now if you have more energy on the turn you play Wiccan than you are spending, it doesn't work correctly. That is a bug. That was confirmed, thankfully, by Second Dinner, Once that bug actually gets fixed, this deck actually gets, I think, like a lot better. And I'm really stoked for whenever that does occur. Madam Web. And they're snapping on that. Why are they so stoked about the Altar of Death? Do you have like a Legion or something? I don't know. Superior Spider-Man does get to work. I have extra energy now as well. I can't play anything on this turn. They're moving it over there. That's fine. Sam Wilson. His shield goes there into what? Kraglin? I actually still... Do I get priority? It depends on what happens on this final turn. What order do the cards get revealed? Because if I have priority, I think I'm just going to play a Galactus at the middle location. I don't. But do I still want to do that? Yes. Yes, I do. I think I'm still definitely supposed to do that over here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how feasible this is. I hope it's going to be okay. Because, I mean, there's plenty of reasons why this could go really poorly. Depending on where they move Kraglin, depending on what happens with Hydra. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that can go weirdly here. Kraglin goes over there. They're swapping locations. That card is staying at the middle location here. They're playing Spider-Punk, but they're not moving it right now. They just played a Batroc, and that's not enough to win. Yeah, I think I win this game. I think this is gonna be an okay game for me. I don't know what makes me think that. It's just kind of my intuition currently. I don't know. I've decided I think I'll be okay. Please ruin me here. That wasn't ruining me. Big Galactus can be okay. Well, small Galactus and big Galactus are a fun combo to run together, but didn't hate it. Next game. All right, starting off here, we can go Quicksilver into 10 rings. I used to love the Superior Spider-Man Wiccan Curve. God, the stupid bug, I hate this. It truly is this stupid bug. Like, legitimately, it's such a cool combo, such a fun deck, and I can't use it the normal way because of stupid Wiccan bugs, and that's just annoying. I hope they fix Wiccan. All right, they said it was known as a issue. I mean, with this in mind, right? I'm actually just supposed to play Kraglin? So I can Galactus mid? That's the best call for us currently? And we really hope that what they do in this lane is they play... What's her face? They play Supergiant in this right lane? That's a Doombot? I don't care about a Doombot, let me tell you. Doombot, who cares? I also get to turn off the ability of Hydra Bob so that I can just mess with... Actually, is Mole Man better? Because if I hit a big card like Galactus or Foom, I could just play those final turn instead. Yeah, I get 14 power. No, I'm at 14 power at the end of the game. And then they go... Aurora... They play Aurora plus, so it'd be 16 just with Aurora. Then they add 2 more there, right? 16, 20. I actually would lose just playing rocks. However, I was never worried. All right, next game. You know, I used to be a fan of the movie Jumanji. But whenever they started rebranding to Yumanji, I don't know, it just fell off for me. It just stopped feeling the same. Personally, that is. I don't know. Maybe y'all can relate, maybe you can't. But I just didn't like the rebrand. I felt like the original was a lot better. Okay, Parker Industries, that's fine. That's fine, Parker Industries. All right, I'm still just doing this, honestly. I don't want to do anything else right now. I would have done Wiccan, but why could I? Well, that's rude. And you give me Sakaar too? It's fine. You would never play Galactus for me. Okay, it didn't. No, it didn't.
I am Iron Man.
Wait, we might be okay. All right, so can I just go Galactus mid? Can I get the fart? I need the fart to win. Do I snap here? This is where you'd snap. I don't typically snap in my games because I think people are more likely to retreat once you do snap. However, them getting a free Mr. Negative on turn 2, I think is enough of a reason for them to stay in this game. But it's also, I think, a very fair reason for me to snap them here. Also, 18 power on Galactus is pretty solid. On the other Galactus, that is. What gets destroyed, we will find out in a moment. So one thing you can always do in order to check to see what cards got destroyed, you can go to the destroyed zone over here. They lost Star-Lord. Star-Lord is a card that people are running in Mr. Negative. That's something I didn't expect. I really just need an Goliath or else I lose. That's it. Maybe Cosmic Ghost Rider can save me this game? Which maybe is a logic where like, okay, well, definitely don't play Mole Man because it can get rid of the card. And to that I say, that's a fair point. However, have you considered no? Right, so it's snapped. They're snapping here. I'm gonna regret staying in this game. But if it's just a null, can I still win? I've never once regretted a stay in my entire life, and I don't plan on starting today. I mean, we won that game. We did win the game because we were able to use Kraglin to Galactus, which I think is actually a very, like, I think that is one of the most key synergies I have seen with this card, as I'm seeing people test it and figure out stuff with it, as it's just a very nice way to ramp into Galactus, right? Because previously, one of your ways that you would be able to ramp into Galactus on turn 4, you had Wave, and that was it. And the problem with Wave is that it allows your opponent to then get a big card as well on the board, right? Because you and your opponent, y'all both have a 4 power or 4 cost max card. Whereas with Kraglin, it gives you the advantage there, which is a weird type of synergy with like the OG style of Galactus. Because I've enjoyed still playing Galactus, but I don't know, this feels very reminiscent to like the Galactus decks of old. And I've really been enjoying it. Honestly, a lot more than I've been enjoying this deck a lot more than I thought I would. Let's talk about the deck itself, break it all down. And I also actually have the stats for this deck as... I've done better with this deck than I deserve. I came away from this deck feeling a lot better about it than I truly expected to. I honestly expected to, at the end of this deck, to kind of just feel schmedium about this card. I kind of expected it to feel like, okay, but it doesn't actually matter. But I think Kraglin gives you a really big thing, and that reason is something I mentioned earlier, right? It's the fact that you can Galactus on turn 4, and your opponent cannot play a bigger card to match you like Wave gives them. Kraglin is unique in that he allows you to play a 6-cost card on turn 4. And not only in that, he doesn't give your opponent that same option. And that's a really big deal. And you see that somewhat, right? Like, I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but looking at my stats, right? Like, this is a 70% win rate with this deck. And it's a small sample size, right? But 70% is nothing to sneeze at with a card that I feel like most people thought was pretty boring when they first looked at it. So if you're looking at Kraglin and you're feeling like, hey, I don't know if I want this card or if I don't, I'm going to say that I think Kraglin is in no way, shape, or form. Do I think this is a must-buy card? But what I will say about Kraglin is that this card and this deck that it enables is unique in what it does. I think the Wiccan bug in this deck really hurts it. Like, I hate the fact that Wiccan just doesn't work currently with stuff like that. And Second Dinner recently said in the Team Answers area that they know it's an issue, and I think they are looking at it, but that doesn't mean that it's like, it's not an issue, it's not annoying, right? Because it definitely is. And so whenever that gets fixed, this deck's going to become even better, but I like what this can do. I don't think you need a lot of the cards that I do have as in terms of like the higher series. First, I think Quicksilver, and then what Shang-Chi versus, what is it, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings give you. Like, that is a very specific combo, especially with Superior Spider-Man. However, the Superior Spider-Man bug sucks. So if you don't really want to run that, you can definitely try to go for a more tech card style of this deck, in which rather than trying to go with, right, with your Mole Man, which is a weird card already, right? Or with the Kraglin, you can do cards like Copycat, the new Drax, Speed, stuff like that that is encouraging you to play on curve. If you don't have Shang-Chi, you can try to run the Domino, but you lose a 3-drop in that deck, and it makes it slightly less consistent. You don't need all the other big cards that I have at the bottom here, right? Like Legion is just it's a tech card, right? You could throw in a Stardust. You can throw in your big tech card of your choice. Put in a Cannonball. If you want a Cannonball, then you probably want Mercury somewhere in here as well. You can throw an Iron Lad in this deck. Wiccan, like I said, I do like Wiccan inside the style of deck, and I think I would probably recommend keeping it. However, the Wiccan bug with extra energy on the turn, right? So I think I've said it a few times during this video because I've been annoyed by it, but if you have extra energy during the turn you play Wiccan, then you're going to be punished, and it won't work, even though that's not how the card should work. It's not how the text implies it would work, and that's just unfortunate. You could try to go more 4-drops. You could try to throw an Iron Lad in here and try to be a little bit more cheeky with that type of stuff. Also, a card like Merlin is an interesting shout as a Merlin on turn 2, because you'll still have the 10 rings, right? A Merlin on turn 2 actually still provides you a 2-drop and a 1-drop on the turn 3, which then still lets you play on curve. So it's a fun one. Maybe it also helps you pad your stats in that way. But like I said, the Goliath Galactus regular Galactus combo is very much like part of this deck. And if you don't want to run that, there's a more tech card version probably you can just do with other things, right? This is a Wiccan, basically tech card style of list. Thing First Step's another good shout for a card. You might want Professor X. You can even go Leader if you wanted to do that stuff. I like Fin Fang Foom here though. Fin Fang Foom has it's just a big stat stick, and it does its job most effectively. We already talked about Fin Fang Foom a little bit earlier in the video, even if I don't want to relive what I said there. Cosmic Ghost Rider, again, it's just tech cards, right? A lot of this deck is tech cards. You have really big, really powerful tech cards, and then you also have really big stats, and also you have a way to basically cheat out as much energy as you can, play as much energy as you can with these smaller cards, with the Quicksilver and the 10 rings, and you got Superior Spider-Man, you got Mole Man for another couple like really big. Mole Man hitting Fin Fang Boom, I do love. Mole Man then gives you like a 2/14, which is amazing. I like this deck, and I honestly did really like Kraglin. I am shocked by how much I really enjoyed Kraglin. Do I think it's a must-buy card? No. But it's a unique card, and we don't have a lot of cards this season that truly feel unique. And that's awesome. It's awesome to see a card that is unique, a card that I feel like I can actually talk about and do something interesting with, in comparison to like the Drax from last week, who is just gets bigger and he's fine, right? But Kraglin is different. It's a weird card, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm not going to pretend like it's a great card. It's not going to be a busted card, but it's a fun card, and I did have fun with this deck. So, I mean, if you want to play Galactus stuff, I actually do think that Kraglin's best home is going to be a Galactus pile with big bads and such like that. However, I don't know what else you're going to do with this guy, but these are just my first initial impressions with Kraglin. Let me know what you think of the card down below, right? I'm not going to say it's incredibly, like, busted, revolutionary, but it's different and it's new, and we're not getting a lot of that this month. A lot of the cards this month kind of feel more so like, sure, I guess this is an ability that could work in Marvel Snap. I don't feel that with Kraglin. That already exists in Marvel Snap, right? Kraglin is new, it's fresh, and it doesn't matter if it's not amazing. It's still different, and that's fun. Let me know what you think of him in the comments down below. Appreciate you hanging out to the end of the video. Have a good one, have a great one, and until the next one, peace out.